Don't blink. Here's your boy. Welcome to Welcome to your show. Guys are doing well. Guys are having a wonderful day. As you can see, we're very emotional right now. We're watching Trailer Park Boy close to the yard. We've been watching Trailer Park Boy for a couple of days now, and I wanted to make a video about it. A shout out to Barry Butter, a friend of mine, who also is a big fan of Trailer Park Boys. Wow, I'm emotional. So I'm emotional because okay. So I have to tell you something. This is a video that I made before, but it's a video that I need to do. What I'm armed with. I'm armed with a Monster energy drink. I'm armed with a pepperoni Cox. It's brother. It's delicious. It's not Donair. So I just felt the need to talk about Trailer Park Boys. And just how much I loved it. And how much it just meant to me. It all started back in 2005. I was 12 years old. My mom moved in with my stepdad, and he spoke French, but we live in an English household. So every single show that he had, every single channel, look at this pepperoni, wow. Every single show that he had was in English. Now, I'm telling you right now, it's gonna be a long video. So roll your joints, drink your beer, get you some liquor in, be the liquor, we're gonna have some fun. I don't speak English. I'm a kid that was raised to a French household, right? And then what ended up happening is I find this channel. I find this channel called Showcase, which is the original producer of Trailer Park Boy, Mike Clattenburg and Showcase. Sorry. I'm so sorry, guys. It's just so good. I should be high for this. I got some edibles. Want to do them? Okay. This wasn't the plan. This wasn't the plan, but let's go. Fuck, I love this show. Fuck, this is emotional for me. I like Lyson and Bubbles. A vape kit. It is the Pineapple Express. Before we start, I just want to take a drink. It's gonna be like a 40 minutes video, 50 minutes video. So this is why we're so down with just taking it slow, taking it easy. Whew, it's strong. So, vape pen, Pineapple Express. Let's fucking go. I'm gonna hit it twice. Now, it's Trailer Park Boy is about weed. It used to be a lot about weed. Now, not so much. Man, this show. This is a video that I'm gonna tell you my experience with Trailer Park Boys. I'm gonna tell you why I'm making this video because there's a specific reason. As you can see, we got the vape pen. One more time. Am I even hitting it? I don't think I'm hitting it. You can see this is flashing, so. Oh well. I'm hoping I'm hitting it. To be honest, this is the second time that I do this, so pretty new at this. So I'm at my mom's house, at her stepdad's house. My stepdad, I'm sorry. And then what ended up happening is I discovered this channel. Now, this is too much information, but I don't give a fuck. I'm 12. This is reality closer to the art. The very first episode that I watched from Trailer Park Boys. It is the picture perfect episode for the show. And I'm 12 years old, so the hormone monster visit my bedroom every single night, and I get horny. And I discovered this channel called Showcase. Now, Showcase is a bit more. Sorry. I'm watching it on Netflix, so sometimes the episode is already started. So Showcase is a bit more free. And every Friday they have this behind the scene of the porn industry show, but if you're lucky enough you see some tits. So I go in. Now the funny thing is, on the English channel I only had 2 English channels. Later on I had a lot more. And then we had the CW with Maury Povich and Jerry Springer, right? But the only channel that I have is Teletoon, English, and Showcase. So, long story short, my mom finished work at 4. They come and pick me up at 4:30. There was always some traffic. So I would go back to my stepdad's house at around 6 o'clock p.m. I'm going to go prepare Ronnie Cox. And at this age, something really special, something really special that happened. I was in an age where I didn't want to be a kid anymore. I wanted to grow up. I was starting high school. And it was just so great because what would happen is I would come back and watch Trailer Park Boys. Trailer Park Boys, once again, I did speak a lick of English, but they would swear. Now, one show that I used to watch was South Park. And South Park would swear. And then South Park, because they would swear a lot. That's it, I'm done. Really shit. Trailer Park Boy, baby. Fucking love this. So then what happened is I tried to watch it because South Park did swear. And South Park is again a kid. South Park is an adult show presented in a kid show format. So I go in with Trailer Park Boy. Now in the summer of my 2005, my 12 years, when I was 12 years old, my mom was like, hey, you need to learn English. And it's so fucking funny because she sent me to an English camp and she's like, hey, if you want to get some friends, if you want to talk to people, well, you're going to have to learn English. And in my life, there's been a lot of people, mostly men, that were kind of cool. So I had a kind of like an instructor, and he also was watching Trailer Park Boys, and we would make jokes about it. I was 12 years old and I had to whisper, hey, Bubble said I swear to fuck, and we would laugh about it, right? Or fucking Sam Squatch. So I started falling more and more in love with Trailer Park Boys. Now I have to be honest, Trailer Park Boy wasn't a first love. It wasn't a first love at all. So then what happened is I continue to evolve. I'm I'm 16. I was born in 90. We're starting to have the Wi-Fi at home. So I spent my fucking whole day on YouTube. And on YouTube, and this is a true story, back then, there was the complete first 7 seasons. So what happened is, the first 7 seasons, they were on Showcase. And then, I don't remember how many years there was after that. But this is really, really, really crazy. And this, again, all what I'm saying today is true. So, I'm 16, I'm looking at the episode, and now I speak English, I understand. And I watch Trailer Park Boy, the whole show. Okay, so I'm so sorry. Yeah, we'll do it like that, and then I'll show you after. So, I watched the whole show. I think I'm getting high. I'm watching the whole show, and I fall in love with the characters. I fall in love with the storyline. I really fall in love with the 7th season. The first one I didn't like. The 7th season I didn't like. However, from 2 to 6 are absolutely beautiful. The first one, why I didn't like it, super simply put, it's more so a mockumentary than Trailer Park Boys. It doesn't feel like Trailer Park Boys. And 7 feels like too much of a parody. But I keep watching the show. The problem with Trailer Park Boy is, how many seasons are only 6 episodes or 8 episodes? So those are 4 hours. On YouTube, you can already put it at 2 times the speed. So I would watch a season every 2 hours, and I would watch the whole show in one day. So it was too much, right? I watched it once, I watched it twice, I watched it 3 times. Again, Trailer Park Boy, why it's so important to me. Man, what a story. What a fucking story. It was on Showcase. Now, later on, they introduced Kenny vs. Penny. So I started watching Kenny vs. Penny. I watched 1 episode, and it was the first one to get Stain loses, and I hate that episode. I hate it. So then later on, I gave a chance to Kenny vs. Penny. And to be honest, Trailer Park Boy and Kenny vs. Penny are easily the 2 shows that gave me the most out of life, that have taught me the most out of life. See, Trailer Park Boy, what it has given me so much about life is, I was a shy kid. I was a ADHD kid that took medication for his ADHD day in, day out. I was completely zonked out. I didn't have friends. I couldn't speak. Trailer Park Boys was all about friendship and talking. And these people would swear. And when I was talking, I was weird because I didn't talk a lot. So when I did talk, I talked a lot. Swear word made me laugh. I was a kid. So it was so good. It was just so good. I don't even know what to start. I'm getting emotional because think about Trailer Park Boys, right? But just how much it meant to me. Then I moved to the apartment. I came from a family of really hard worker. My mom and my father both were slaves to their work. Not fun people, but just slaves to their work. So when I come to the apartment, I don't have Wi-Fi. So I download shows from YouTube. I download the complete show, Kenny vs. Penny. However, I couldn't get Trailer Park Boys. I couldn't get it. And I kept on Googling to get it from other websites. Sorry, guys. Sorry, boys. Your guy was too broke to watch the show illegally, so... Again, this was 12 years ago, so who gives a shit? And then, this is completely crazy. I'm 3 months in the apartment. 3 months in the apartment. Do you know what happened? Trailer Park Boy released their podcast. Swear Not becomes a thing. Don't legalize it, come out. Trailer Park Boy podcast is the show that I watch the most. It's the show that I watch the most. They will release 1 episode every single week, and have been doing so for the last almost 10 years. And you know what's crazy? I would watch it over and over and over again, and every single week, because at the end I had to watch the first 6 episodes over 10 times each. And then I was like, okay, well, you watched that already. So every single week, what I would do on Friday, because they release it on Friday. If you were watching SwearNet, I'm so sorry. They would release it on Friday if you were with SwearNet, and it would release on next Monday if you weren't. So what I would do is, for example, episode 125 comes out. I would watch 123, 24, 25, right? It's crazy. It's insane. My apologies. And then the next week, what I would do, 126 would come out, right? And I would do 124, 125, 126. I would always watch the last episode, and yeah. And then, but the Trailer Park Boys, I was working in a workshop. It was boring. I started listening to audiobook, couldn't do it. Then we started listening to Trailer Park Boys, and it was just insane. That was just insane. But why did Trailer Park Boy mean so much to me? Well, it was one of the first shows that I watched learning English, right? It was one of the first show that I kept watching. It was the first series I was a fan of. I wasn't a series of anything else. And again, I think the important part is I wanted to grow up. I wanted to grow up really badly. I don't know why. I had this obsession with growing up, and this was the first grown-up show that I could talk about. The first show that I fell in love with. But then it's a show that I watch so often. I remember the Weekend Showcase took out Trailer Park Boys from their show, because Showcase did produce Trailer Park Boys, but they just produced till season 7, and then it was SwearNet, right, which is owned by Mike Smith, which is Bubbles, Rob Well, which is Ricky, and Jean-Paul Tremblay, which is Julian. But at the same time, Trailer Park Boys, there's so much content. The amount of things that they did, the fact that they have podcasts on the YouTube, it's just crazy. It's just insane. It's so nuts. It is so nuts. So nuts. From the very first season that felt like a mockumentary to season 2, where the show really took his wing, to season 3, where you have an established show which is super funny, with season 4. Okay, well, we have those characters, we want to make them evolve, we have Conky. To season 5, shit hits the fan. So now what you're doing is you want the show to keep being entertaining, so you really put in villains. You have, so like, Don't Cross the Shit Line, Shit Wolf, right? 6, who came back a bit to the roots, and 7 was just too much a party. Now, admittedly, I'll admit that I don't really, I prefer the older version of Trailer Park Boys to the new one. That's me. Now, why are we talking about Trailer Park Boys right now? Okay, so Trailer Park Boys, I'm a victim of Trailer Park Boys. I'm a victim of the success of Trailer Park Boys. So what I would do, I would watch it every single year. In 2021, we started making content. Now, the truth is, the complete truth, 21, we're a gamer, we're a streamer, so we only stream on Twitch, and what I do is I take the stream from Twitch and I put it on YouTube. That's the whole content I do. I don't do anything less, I don't do anything more. And then in 2022, on Christmas Day, I feel like I owe people something because they're so nice to me. So I'm like, you know what? I'm doing a face reveal. I'm in a face reveal. We start doing food review. We're still doing food review, by the way. And then I got bored with the food review because I was trying to lose some weight, right? So then what I started doing was I started recapping. Guess what was the first show I did? Trailer Park Boys. And guess what the second show I did was Kenny vs. Penny? Absolutely. Now, why am I saying that I'm a victim of their success? It's actually quite simple. It's actually quite simple. So,
hey, boy, Mr. Leahy, please, that's enough.
It's gonna be fucking up. So, I watch them every single year. Now, because I recap the show and I'm in love with making content, my passion is making content. I don't watch Trailer Park Boys anymore. because I already did the recap. What's the point, right? Then what ends up happening is I'm seeing clips on TikTok of the lead scene of Trailer Park Boys, and I fall back in love with the show. And for the first time since my 16th birthday, which was 16 years ago, I'm 22, I had forgotten some part of Trailer Park Boys. I started watching it, and lately we've been watching it for 4 days, and I just remember just how good it was. But why am I so in love with Trailer Park Boys? It's actually quite easy. Something that's relatable. They're living the fucking shitty life. They're bum. But they're rich because they have friends, they have family. I identified with Julian in the beginning because Julian was what I wanted to be. A smart businessman, successful with a lady, good looking. Then, for the longest of time, for more than 10 years, Bubble was my favorite because Bubble was funny. Bubble was funny. Bubble was endearing. Bubble was loved in the community. And now my favorite is Ricky. Because Ricky is a family man. And Ricky, although is a fuck up, Ricky is a good ass father. A role model father, if I may add. And I may add. Yeah, so that show completely changed my life. Not once, not twice, but every single time that I saw it. It was also being Canadian. I had this identity crisis. Where, and this again, this is a tough thing to talk about, but I grew up in French, right? I grew up in French, and most of the stuff that I watched when I was younger was French. And when I learned English, I was so excited to learn English. It was such a new world for me. I had access to shows, American shows, which French Canadian. I love French Canadian shows, but it's only in Montreal, right, or in France. With English, I had a new world opening, and the YouTube was also a new world. From Celebrity Big Brother to Big Brother UK, Trailer Park Boys, Kenny vs. Penny, complete season of South Park, complete season of American Dad, complete season of South Park, of Simpsons. As an adult, I associate myself with English a lot more, but I never had a show that I was proud to be Canadian. Now, Kenny vs. Penny is the show that taught me the most. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. However, Kenny vs. Penny, when I say that Kenny was a role model to me, people say no, Kenny was an asshole. Kenny Otts was an asshole, and they shame me for that, you know. But it's the truth. Trailer Park Boy is still so popular. And it's the fact that they were Canadian, but Trailer Park Boy is a success story. It's 3 dudes that made an empire. Now they have chips, they have beer, they have Liquorman whiskey. It's a success story. It's a success story, but it's not the success story that you think. And I think this is a heartwarming story. Trailer Park Boys was never supposed to take off. It was never supposed to be popular. You had the movies, which were great. From Trailer Park Boy, the movie, to come up to Liquor Day, to Don't Legalize It. My favorite is, of course, the movie. But Trailer Park Boys wanted that. It's specials. The Christmas specials. Let's say goodbye to the bad guy. Say goodnight to the bad. Whoa, I'm a high. Say goodnight to the bad guy. You know? But people were inviting the Trailer Park Boys, Jimmy Kimmel's, Fallon. They invited the Trailer Park Boys, and they were just making, kind of not making fun of it, but they were making fun of the characters and say, hey, this is your cheated life, right? And they say, for example, we had Snoop Dogg saying, hey, I'll pay you $200 for that. And then Bubbles would say something funny like, do you know how many months of cat food I can buy? I can live like a king. It was just so fucking funny. But it was also at the depend of the Trailer Park Boys. I'm going to take it seriously. Canadian as a whole, and I'm not trying to be a victim, but Canadians as a whole were seen as this extremely nice people, but we're seen as these people that are fucking hillbillies. We're seen as these people that are way too kind. We're seen as these weak people. We're seen as these people that apologize too much. We're seen as these people who still have Mounties. Kind of much more than that, right? And people like Trailer Park Boy put us on the map. Maddie Matheson put us on the map. Right? Nobody is as successful as the Trailer Park Boy has been, but they still kept being humble. Now, ultimately speaking, they had venture that I didn't like. They're not perfect. I didn't like Drunken on Drugs. I didn't like Swearnet, the Swearnet show. I didn't like that. Trailer Park Boys, just crazy good. From the first season to 12th season to the animated series to the podcast that's been going on for almost. At this point, I'm pretty sure that they passed the 10-year, which is crazy, because they had released an episode per week. Now they take some weeks off, but I don't think they took that many weeks off. And Trailer Park Boys podcast is the perfect antinomy of why I love Trailer Park Boys. It felt like I was part of the trailer park. See, the Trailer Park Boys, you don't want to be characters. And I noticed that I wanted to be Julie, I wanted to be Bubbles, and I wanted to be Ricky. But Trailer Park Boys is this magical world where you want to be in a trailer park because it's cool. It's good people. We just saw who's the microphone assassin? And it's so good because a bubble goes in and it's one for all, and it's all for one and one for all in the motherfucking park, right? Know what I'm saying? I wanted to be part of the Trailer Park Boy. And the podcast, it just felt like you were sitting with the guys that were just talking. And they're just being fucked. You know? And yeah, that's why I love the Trailer Park Boys. Their success story, the fact that so many celebrities, they listen to Trailer Park Boys. The amount of content they put out. The amount of years they've been doing that. But it's also the harder years for Trailer Park Boys. It was the guy wanting to buy the contract. It was Mike Smith having some restaurant, leaving the acting world. John Paul, who was struggling to be an actor. Ricky, Rob Wells, who had a couple of roles, mainly Saints Row 2. But Lucy, the coutier, who tried to get Mike Wells. No, sorry, I'm high for reals. Mike Smith. He tried to get Mike Smith in trouble to say that he was sexually inappropriate with her, when it wasn't true. She could have ruined Trailer Park Boys. It's the fact that so many people grew up watching this show. The fact that this show came out in 2022, and it's still going strong. He might not have season anymore, but he still have the podcast. The boys have never been more popular. They're selling hot sauce, they're selling chips, they're selling beers. I'm proud to say that I watch Trailer Park Boys. I'm proud to say that I've been watching them since Showcase Day. I'm proud to say that this was actively a part of my upbringing. And that's pretty much it. So yeah. Phenomenal season, phenomenal series, phenomenal show, phenomenal actor, phenomenal... And see, the saddest thing with Trailer Park Boys is John Zandvoort dying, because Leahy was such a big part of it. Marguerite dying, which was a big part of the later season. It was Philadelphia Colin dying, which was sucky. Right? But that's the problem with shows like that. If you watch season 2, you see Trina. By the way, Trina is whom? Trina is the daughter of Jim Leahy. Jim Leahy being John Dunward, who died. But Trina being Ellen Page, who died. It became an Elliot Page, right? Trailer Park Boy also took risk, wasn't afraid. And I appreciate that. They had the first gay couple, in my opinion, on TV. Maybe not on TV, but the first gay couple that I saw, which was Leahy and Randy. They had one of the first trans characters, which was Donna, who was gender fluid. They took risk. and I got applause for that. Anyway, this is it. Love you guys. Take it easy.